And welcome back. Round 4, the DWC Organizational is coming up right now. We've got our main feature match lined up.
It wasn't much of a break, considering we saw a round 3 timeout. Unreal. The chess clock. Time stay undefeated. Everybody loses to time.
Yeah.
Bound to happen eventually.
That is a problem with the Jund Food deck when playing online. A lot of clicks, a lot of APM required.
Yeah, huge amount of APM. Yeah, tough for the deck. Absolutely. Happens, like I said it mid-match when time wasn't even concerned. We weren't even thinking. I said one of the problems is that in paper, you can shortcut it. You can say, okay, end of my turn, cat drain you. But you got to click. You got to make all those clicks, when it comes to online work. And, that was a really complicated match. There were a lot of decisions. It played out. It was a crazy match, and there was a lot of decisions involved, and just run out of time when you're playing a deck like Jund Food that requires such high so many game actions. So, all right, what do we got lined up here for? Oh, this is an undefeated, right?
Yeah. Battle of the 3-0s. We've got returning top 8 competitor psamms on mono red versus unversed on Bant mid range.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, really excited to see how this match plays out. Like I said, I think the Bant deck is really well positioned. I like that they have Arboreal Grazers in this matchup. Normally, I don't think they're that good when people are, in the sort of arms race, bigger expansion. But Mono Red was the most played deck at this tournament. So this was a really safe metagame choice. The deck list they showed up with looks pretty good. 3 Dream Trawlers are going to be some of the keys to victory for this deck. But having said all that, you're playing against the smart god himself.
The actual Canadian icon, master of mono red, psamms.
A man who only attacks.
This man knows how to attack.
A noted hater of islands.
I don't know if anybody tuned into the last organizational. We had psamms on for a round during the Swiss portion, and he pulled a mono red win out of absolute nowhere, which shocked both of us. I don't know if you remember that.
Shocked
game.
The world. I'll never forget. Everyone in chat even was losing their minds. It was an insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
both of you and I were just considering plays of what he could do, and he just killed his opponent.
We're like, oh man, it looks really bad. I'm not sure he can win. And then his opponent didn't block and died from 20. Basically, it was crazy. It was on the back of like a bunch of Rimrock Knights and Runaway Steamkins.
Yeah, it
was something else. It was quite the performance. Yeah, psamms is a renowned aggro player, known throughout the Magic world for his prowess at turning guys sideways. Because I can guarantee you that he's never cast a creature with vigilance.
Creatures with lifelink, not about it.
Yeah, I don't know, that's cheat. He is cheat. We're on the smart god strat. Let's take a look at his list here and see what we like. I'm surprised he cut a light up the stage. This has been a man with what some might consider a nuclear take, in that he's been pretty adamant that he doesn't like light up the stage, but he messaged me last night saying he didn't have the guts to cut it completely.
So he trimmed one.
So he just shaved one copy.
Real bold deck building strategies up here from the mono red man himself.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to cut a light up the stage.
Yeah, and he went to Shocks, which some mono red lists don't really seem to play anymore. He's playing 2 Robbers. I know he's not the hugest fan of Robber, but there are times where Robber rolls really high. So, and he's really playing it for the 2/2 haste. I'm pretty sure his philosophy on it is, well, it's 2 damage haste. Can't be that bad.
Well, looks like the match is getting going. Let's hop in over here. Round 3. Litxx, psamms, Bant mid-range versus mono red. Battling for 4-0 in the DWC Organizational. Let's get it.
This hand is great.
Great opening hand for Litxx. We've got Growth Spiral. We've got Uro.
If you're on the play, it's a lot better, but on the draw, even this is the kind of hand I think that has the tools to win against the mono red matchup. You have something like ECD, which can tag up an Annex. If they don't have the Annex in time, the Shatter of the Sky looks really, really good. You just got to hear drops. You have Uro, you gain some life. You have your ramp. This seems like an insane hand from the Bant deck. And it looks like we got mono red on them all. We should have noted that we have caster cursed. We have caster cursed psamms every single time he's on coverage. He loses. Last time he went X1 in the Swiss. His only loss when he was on coverage, and he got smashed. And then in the top 8, he was on coverage and he got smashed. But we'll see this Robber the Rich.
Robber Rich coming down, taking that breeding pool off the top of the deck for Litxx. That is a land he needs.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you might be able to get him, but
Finds one anyway.
you got to probably assume you're going to shock yourself here for the life. You got to get on board, get that third land into place, so the next turn that Uro can start doing some work.
Yeah. Depending on what psamms adds to the board this turn, it might just be Growth Spiral into Shatter the Sky.
Yep. This is going to really come down to if psamms is able to pull an Annex, it's going to look really, really good. An Annex here is going to be essential to staying in this game. If you don't really have it, this is going to be tough. This Shatter the Sky might just close this game down now. This was a tough mull for mono red into... oh, wow, and we have the untapped land.
Yeah, finding the forest off the top of the deck, so...
Insane draw from Bant.
Mm-hmm.
Really good hand. Wow. I assume you're going to fire... You have to fire it off here.
Yeah, sitting at 10 life, having Uro lined up for the next turn. Feeling pretty good with a Shatter the Sky this turn. We'll see what Litxx decides to go for.
The quality on this computer, too.
This is a good one.
Yeah, okay, we found our...
Unverse coming in clutch with a great quality.
Yeah, we found somebody with a reasonable desktop. Here we go.
Yep, there's a Shatter to the Sky. Clean 3 for 1. Back to psamms. Let's see what he can muster after that brutal.
Watch, here comes the Annex after you draw the third land. Oh, man, that's got to feel so bad. And it gets ECD'd. This is exactly what I said. If you need this to happen as the Bant player and you just win, this is
very rough turn of events for psamms.
Yeah.
Game's not over yet, but Runaway Steamkin is not looking too good at the moment. Hydroid Krasis off the top of the deck.
It's over because if you just play Uro here, you can get back your Uro, or you can play Teferi and bounce. I think you play the Uro because you get back your Uro with ECD and gain another 3 life the next turn.
Yeah.
You can even shock yourself here and bounce the Steamkin with Teferi and just put yourself you can probably risk it. Hell yeah. This is just an assertion here. Yeah. Wow, what a draw from Bant.
Just everything they needed to see to brunt the aggression from psamms.
Just literally firing on all cylinders. Because, yeah, now you just get back to Uro, pad your life total a bit more, make your land drops, ensure that this Krasis is just a house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actual insane draw. But I'm never counting out psamms on a red deck.
There's a Torbrand.
But one of the problems is this Teferi sort of prevents Embercleave. It prevents a lot of the sneaky ways that mono red has, out of this situation. So, yeah, really, really clean, easy game here, I think, for Bant.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what line Litxx decides to go for. You could go cast a Krasis for 6.
Yeah, just play the land.
You could play the other Teferi, bounce Torbrand, put your second Teferi in the graveyard, so you're that much closer to escaping an Uro.
Yeah, I can't see how close he is, but I think I like just slamming the Hydra Krasis for 6 here.
Yeah, it's hard to pass up a giant Krasis on this board.
Oh, boy. The Dream Trawler, too.
Mm-hmm. We're back up to 15 points of life.
Yeah, this is a tough one for mono red. This was the dream draw in the matchup in a lot of ways. Red was on a mull. You had interaction. They missed their land drop because if Phil had the third mountain on time for that Annex,
that Shatter the Sky is not looking good.
Yeah, but now you just get to do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. Double Dream Trawler in hand, or could cast another huge Hydroid Krasis. The world is your oyster.
Yeah. I mean, it just does. I'm not sure it matters. You just because of the Teferi too. There can't be any sneaky Embercleave gotchas.
You could honestly just close your eyes and cast random spells from your hand for the rest of this game and probably still win.
Yeah, I mean, Teferi just shuts off their only sort of crafty way out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's tough. You could also just Dream Trawler Teferi here. I mean, just cast this Uro in your hand and put it in the graveyard. I mean,
whatever you want.
You literally do whatever you want here. Yeah, the power level on this Bant deck really just coming through this game, just looking like it's slamming haymaker after haymaker, making all its land drops, ramping. This is just a styling.
Yeah, it's safe to say we're in garbage time right now, I'd say.
Oh yeah,
back up to 18 life for the Bant deck.
Not attacking.
Krasis staying back on defense.
Hell yeah, why bother?
Mm-hmm.
Next turn, just play another Dream Trawler. You know? Yeah, well, I mean,
psamms has seen enough. We're off to game 2.
Yeah, he's like, guys, not even going to attack me? All right, I concede. All right. I mean, look at this sideboard, too.
This sideboard is loaded up for mono red. We've got Devout Decree. We've got Love Struck Beasts. Aether Gusts.
I mean, 4 Devout Decree, right? Oh. We're stacked. We're not... We don't want to lose to mono red. That's what this deck is saying, you know?
Yep.
I'm ordering 2 large pizzas. You guys good with Canadian and chicken?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, let me know how much it is. I have cash on me.
It's like some coupon. It's like $11 a pizza.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Sorry, distracted.
Tournament organizer Cam coming in clutch.
Ordering some pizza. I'm sorry. I was just riding high off what a smashing that was. Yeah. You know, I hate to see my boy psamms getting done dirty like that, but my Lord, what a demonstration. What an actual stomp from the band.
That did not look good for mono red. So for Litxx here, I think I like cutting some Nissas, trimming down on your more clunky spells.
I agree.
Bringing in the cheaper interaction. And yeah, just kind of going for there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because they have, I think one of the problems actually with this deck list might be coming through here, and not that it's a huge problem, is that you almost have too much in your sideboard. What are you taking out?
Yeah.
You have so many things for mono red in your sideboard that, you know, I kind of wonder, you know, what do you want to, you know, what do you maneuver out? Do you really want to cut Dream Trawler? You know, maybe drawing the 3rd copy is too risky if you could, you know, become flooded on them, but you have so many cards for mono red here. And I wonder if it's too many. That's my only critique of this deck list, is that you're too tech for mono red. But like we saw in our metagame breakdown, I mean, it's the most played deck by miles. Yeah. So really smart decisions from Litxx. Well, I mean,
yeah.
Also
another decent start here.
Yeah,
Arboreal Grazer turn 1, Teferi turn 2, followed up by Shatter the Sky if you want it.
Yeah, and this is one of those things I think is going to depend on if you have a follow-up Power Bomb, which we just sort of, you know, we see in the Hydra Crisis draw there. But if psamms, the key to victory here is going to be getting that Annex on turn 3, you know, protecting your board from Shatter, that Shatter doesn't just knock you out of the game completely. Yeah, I mean, someone in chat noticed Steve Ken ain't running away with anything that game. Lockdown. I saw Boreal Grazer just being annoying. I mean, at least Scorch, you know, Spitter gets to do some work.
Yep, Spitter still gets in for 1 point of damage, but
okay, that
this Grazer gets to block this Robber of the Rich real nicely. Growth Spiral stolen.
Yeah.
Robbed, you could say.
Yeah,
off the top of the deck.
Robin Hooded. I wonder if you just play this Teferi and bounce the Scorch Spitter and then your Arboreal Grazer blocks. It just depends what the follow-up is, but it could be that you just get to protect your Teferi.
Yeah, I like that play exactly for the reason that getting rid of the Scorch Spitter means your Teferi is most likely safe, and then you get to uptick and Shatter the Sky on your opponent's turn.
Exactly.
The following turn if
and
you
then
want to.
Having your Teferi stick around against mono red is actually a really, I mean, you could just tick up here even.
Yeah, you are a lot more safe if you just tick up.
Because then you don't lose it to a Bone Crusher Giant from a Stomp. So yeah, I think about this a lot. I was talking about this, that sometimes I think it's better to tick up, especially when you have a Shatter the Sky and you just have everything locked in hand. Because Teferi in this matchup against mono red is actually really, really good. Stopping Embercleave is really, really important for you, especially when you have Arboreal Grazers, because they actually just block everything.
Yeah.
And it lets you Shatter on their turn. Yeah, it's super useful. Yeah, so maybe ticking up there was correct. I think about this a lot. I think it's a consideration not enough players account for, and I'm still not sure when it's right, and it's still undecided, but it's a really close micro decision, because now we lose our Teferi.
Yep.
And I think Phil knows this. And this, to me, if I'm on the ban side, indicates that there's potentially an Embercleave on the other side of the board. But we probably don't care if they don't have the Annex here, and we just wrath them and call it a day. Yeah, it's tough.
So interestingly, the Robber of the Rich goes towards the face instead of both going at Teferi. No third land again for psamms. Scorch Spitter comes back onto the table.
Yeah, you're just getting wrapped.
And there's a Shatter to the Sky. And Litxx looking at a pretty good spot. We've got Hydroid Crisis lined up. We've got Aether Gust.
Yeah, the Lone Rimrock Knight. Ugh, poor little fella. Phil literally just can't draw third land on coverage. Actually insane. We have cursed him so bad. Because we call him Canadian Icon, it hypes him up, and then he just looks like trash on there because his draws are so bad. I think you wait on this crisis because you just don't care now.
Yep.
Right? I think that was a misclick on the land.
Bit of a misstep there, playing the forest instead of the temple.
And then deciding afterwards, this is a classic Magic misstep. You go to do something, and you're like, okay, wait, but I already did half the steps.
Yeah.
Well. Because I think you just want your 4/4 crisis.
Yeah, I don't like casting small crisis when you have enough time to sit back on it.
Absolutely. I think you got... This is tough. I probably Aether Gust that because one of the ways back into this game for a mono red player is going crazy with a Steam Kin. Like if they just have a bunch of 1-drops in their hand and then an Embercleave and they top deck a land and are able to just go crazy on you on an attack, you could actually lose to that Steam Kin. So, but with that Aether Gust on the Steam Kin and them missing their third land, I think that you lock this game up.
Right. Well, not much left for Litxx. 3 lands, Shadow of the Sky left in hand. There's the third land. There comes Annex.
Yeah, the card that we needed this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this game's not over yet. Another land off the top. Elspeth conquers death.
That looks pretty good, though. If there's a follow-up cleave here. I'm so curious.
I mean, this game's interesting now. Oh, both creatures coming in.
This has got to be a cleave, right? No, it can't be. It's not enough mana. This is probably just a Rimrock Knight, right? Now you got to decide, do I want to... Yeah, because I guess you want to be able to use your ECD. So I like this block.
Yeah, it is a little awkward that you left the ECD on top, so this attack... Oh, finally, Litxx decides to throw the Hydroid Crisis in front of Anax.
Yeah, I think I like that. Oh, light up the stage looking pretty good here, though.
There's an Embercleave.
Oh, here we go. But this Shatter, oh, man.
Yeah, seeing that Embercleave now, it's pretty straightforward play of attacking with Hydroid Crisis, shattering the sky, and then passing back.
And you get to draw a card. They get nothing. This is, yeah. I mean, yeah, sure, Bant's flooded, but those Shatters have come in so clutch. You got to be kind of tilted if you're on mono red too, when you know they're only playing 3 and they double shattered you when you're still on 3 land. Got to be a beating. Let's see what we can get out here, though. That's a good one.
All right, psamms finds the Annex. You got to Boulder Rush this Rimrock Knight so you don't lose it. Oh,
man.
There's a Dream Trawler. ECD's coming down, cleaning up this Annex.
I said this to Cam on the walk over here this morning. I said, one of the things that I find so crazy about ECD for Elspeth Conquers Death is that it's not a dead card against mono red. And but that's a good one.
Oh, Chandra Acolyte of Flame coming down.
The problem is this tree. I think it's too late. This Dream Trawler's too much.
8 points of life.
Oh man, this is going to be a close one because we're literally sitting on a Dream Trawler and nothing else.
This ECD tax too could
prevent he could lose to the ECD tax. This game is crazy.
Oh, there's a Torbrand.
What are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing here?
This is so interesting.
Yeah, this game is wild. But I think the Dream Trawler now is going to draw too much. And there's a Teferi coming back, right?
Another land off the top. You're in such an awkward spot now.
Yeah, but this Teferi is going to... No, because you get to kill the Chandra. The Teferi coming back from the ECD is too much. It doesn't matter if you're flooding. This Dream Trawler is going to end the game. It just doesn't matter. It's too good versus them when you have this much land and this much things to discard. Just a big league. Oh, I thought he was going to big league the Chandra and just go face. That'd have been... Oh, he should have. Yeah, this is all over. But the Karang, doesn't matter that we're flooded into the Stone Age. It just doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yep. psamms has seen enough, and that wraps up our main feature.
Yeah, just a dominant performance from Bant. I mean, the real issue there was missing the third mana for Annex. If psamms had hit the third land for Annex in time,
yeah,
both those games are different. Both games. It was just he missed the third land drop for Annex and then got shattered. But if he had the shatter protection, that game changes completely. The entire story. But yeah, caster curse is real. Someone in chat just said it. Yeah, it's a fact. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. It's because I take all his luck. I'm like a luck vampire.
All right, we're hopping right back into game 2 action.
Oh, here we go. Are we gonna see another timeout?
Looks like we have Jun Food in the hand of Brickfingers versus Bant mid-range in the hand of Silvercoat.
This is a stacked hand from Jun Food.
Looks like we came in just in time to watch Brickfingers steal this one.
Hopefully we get another game here.
Oh, in amazing fashion too, sacking away your entire board with the Man Devil and Bantu.
Oh yeah, that's a highlight reel right there. Oh yeah,
man, this is twice now when we've tuned into a backup feature match in perfect time to watch a game close out.
It's just outrageous
in spectacular fashion.
You absolutely love to see it. Oh, he drew Bantu. Oh, okay. Or he has Bantu. Oh, okay. This is over by a lot.
Both these players 2-1 currently, looking to get their third win in the event. Very much in contention for top 8.
Yeah, should be good. I'm curious. Wait, that was on their end, right?
Yeah.
Want to unmute us so we can tell him to mute his mic? You just hear a huge breath. People don't know they have their mic on. Oh man, that's good. So this is another list with a Poly K. A classic throwback Pelucranos. Probably just nuts. That card.
You've got the spicy one-ofs in this Jun Food build. You've got Pelucranos. You've got God Eternal Bantu.
Yeah. Yeah. Tons of spicy one-ofs. I like the epic downfalls on the sideboard. I actually think they're not bad. There's a lot of Uros today. Uros look dominant at the top of the field. You know, we have things like some big, scary threats that Uro gives you an out for. So I'm excited to see this game 3. I will say, as much as I kind of bag on the Jun Food deck for its high APM being kind of boring, I will say that its matches have been really fun to cast.
Absolutely, yeah.
From
lots of decisions each turn. The matches have felt very tight, interesting.
Yeah, from a spectator standpoint, yeah, it's been pretty enjoyable. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at another Bant deck, right? Yeah. Yeah,
this on another interesting build. Omens of the Sea, Thassa's Intervention.
Yeah, that's a card that people
3 time wipes in the main deck.
Yeah, this Bant deck, people all have different builds of it. You know, there's not a stock build among this.
Yeah, it looks like Silvercoat has opted for time wipe instead of Shatter the Sky, which is an interesting decision.
I mean, we saw time wipe just be unreal against Esper Hero earlier today.
Oh yeah.
We thought, okay, well, the hero, they'll have to make enough 1/1s. It'll force the Wrath. That's such a good way to play against the Stream Trawler. And then they just time wiped and picked up their Stream Trawler. The game just ended immediately. Yeah. But I'm curious to see how this will play out. This is, I think, one of the matchups in Standard that's pretty close. You've seen some blue-white players actually in this very tournament. They have Planner Cleansing in their sideboard because of matches like Jun Food, the popularity of Jun Food. Some people have moved towards Planner Cleansing as an option, which is crazy. I think you got to ship this hand though. Woof.
Not a great opening for Brickfingers here.
Yes, this is an ugly one. This is this one, none of your engine pieces.
No.
You need in a deck like Jun Food, you can't just keep a hand with no engine pieces, because then you're just assuming that your draws are so lucky, right? The percentage chance you hit that you're able to build your engine in time are just so low. I think you got to mull this. It's not even a question. This is way better. Much
more playable hand here. Got the Noxious Grass, Mayhem Devil, and Trail of Crumbs. You got part of your engine.
This hand's not
lands to cast them.
This hand's not busted.
No.
It's fine.
No.
And it's pretty slow is the awkward thing. And you don't really have a ton of things going on, but you got to keep it. I think you just ship the Bantu and then try and play cards. But the problem is you're on the draw. You're starting. You're not playing anything till turn 2, and what you're playing on turn 2 has no pressure. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a tough one. This should be interesting.
It could be fine. It looks like there's no turn 1 acceleration from Silvercoat.
Well, that's good for
Witch's
you.
Oven off the top. We're almost at a complete engine here.
Yeah. So now the question is, do I want to play this oven out now, or do I want to try and wait for, you know what I mean? Do I need to get the green source for trail? And we see that Brickfingers elects to go get the forest. I think I like this.
Yep. Yep. No real rush to get this witch's oven down. Pelucranos off the top. Trail of Crumbs is going to hit the table, make a food, back to Silvercoat. Let's see what their turn 3 will provide us. Plains into Uro. Going to start developing their mana, gain 3 life, draw a card.
That's what you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, when in the ban text, it really comes down to you just need to hit those growth spirals. Those Uros are early because you have a lot of expensive things, but you have a lot of way to make up those ramp cards, right? You have Hydroid Crisis. You have all this stuff that really helps.
Yep.
So, oh, wow. Electing to play nothing here.
Brickfingers chooses to pass the turn back. Looks like they're going to go towards the sack food and trigger their Trail of Crumbs.
Yeah, going for the value grindy plan here.
Really awkward to just play a Mayhem Devil there when your opponent is going to be playing their 5th land.
Yeah, they just
turn.
ECD it, and then you just lose on the spot. Yeah, this Pelucranos, it looks pretty awkward too. Yeah. I think you still keep it in against ECD, but it's tough because there's not a lot of ECD targets in your deck. That's a good pickup.
Yeah, I like Pelucranos against decks with Dream Trawler and decks with Nissa. It's very good at managing both of those cards.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't mind keeping in the 1 copy.
Yeah. I like playing the Mayhem Devil here, actually. Because now if this gets ECD'd, I don't think it's the end of the world for you.
Mm-hmm. You've got some value, 1 trigger out of it.
I think you wait there, though, unless you're playing the oven. Yeah. Yeah, you just play the oven. Because now, I was saying, if there's a Teferi minus, you might want to, you know what I mean? You might want to go for it. It's tough. Yeah. But now you can, if you're going to bounce it, you could just sack it to kill the Teferi if you want. Like, you have lots of options. Plus, you have the Noxious Grasp. This looks like it's going to be one of those grindy games. Those really slow, long games.
Settle in. We might be here for a little while.
Yeah, we might be here for a bit. I don't know if we'll see a timeout.
Hydroid Crisis for 4, going to gain 2 life, draw 2 cards. Silvercoat up to 24 life, 5 cards in hand, and it's back to Brickfingers. Let's see what his draw step will provide us. Blood Crypt off the top. It's a clean turn to get a Corvold into play. Awkward, though, because you don't really want to sacrifice anything that you have in play right now.
Everything that you have in the board. Yeah, this is a tough one. The other option here is you play the Mayhem Devil and the Noxious Grasp, right?
Yeah.
And then you just serve. And then you kind of force the Wrath. And it's a time wipe because deckless, it's not a shatter. And so if you Noxious Grasp, he doesn't get to pick up his Hydroid Crisis. If you know deckless, I'm actually, because deckless are public, I'm actually worried about him time wiping if I play my second anything and picking up your Crisis. If he just picks up his Crisis, it's so bad. Yeah,
that would be very unfortunate.
Like if this is a time wipe, it's actually so bad for you. ECD is also kind of bad.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
no, ECD doesn't matter because you have the oven.
Yeah, I understand getting the Pelucranos out there. You don't mind that card ending up in your graveyard if there is a time wipe on the other side.
Exactly, and you get 2 food out of the deal. So the Pelucranos is actually quite a safe play here. I like that, and we've seen actually that Brickfingers has been playing this game fairly safely.
Yeah,
thinking, okay, I can win the late game. Yeah, right? Pretty confident actually that Brickfinger. Yeah, it seems at least.
Funny enough, that Uro comes down for Silvercoat and is sacrificed to its own trigger, triggering the Mayhem Devil.
Oh, Lord knows I've been there. Yeah, I play a lot of Uros, and Growth Spirals, and I've been like, oh yeah, right. Ow.
Yeah. Growth Spiral from Silvercoat looks like they're digging for something.
Yeah, I mean,
Devout Decree.
We just get to sack this here. It's okay. Yeah.
Pelucranos hits the bin, 1 damage to Silvercoat.
Yeah, now we get the
no scry off that Decree.
It's big. That's a big play.
Yeah.
Big play. That Pelucranos, they're actually trading up in resources really, really efficiently. That's the kind of thing you need in this matchup with Jund Food. You're actually trying, I think, to grind out, these decks, and there's an aggressive plan here to grind out.
Yeah, throwing at Stomping Ground into play tapped, a bit of a misstep there, as now you don't get to trigger your Trail of Crumbs.
Even knows it.
This food, yeah,
hits it with the emote. Oops, knows his punt. Brickfinger's a good player. I know who they are. Yeah, took some time off Magic, came back with a Fury. Been doing well. Yeah, definitely a good player. Knew it right away that it was a mistake. Caught it. which again happens to the best of us.
All right. Let's see if Silvercoat has a way to get this Corvold off the table, or else it's going to start doing some work. ECD comes down, targets Corvold. Witch's Oven's going to eat up this Corvold.
Man, Witch's Oven just is... What is that? What is that card? I'm like sitting here ranting all day at how busted ECD is, and then I'm like, wait.
Throne of Eldraine. A lot of good cards. In that
We just
set.
lose to this dumb 1-mana artifact uncommon despite our 5-mana like crazy saga. Yeah, but you can't beat Witch's Oven. Although we are on the beatdown plan here, and this is something that we saw earlier when Blue-Red, sort of realized it might not win the long game, was that they started just attacking.
Yep.
Because we've talked about this all day. One of the things with the food deck is it's mana hungry. And if you start attacking and they just have to use their mana to stay alive, they can't really get their engine going. Yep. You can shut them down by being aggressive. And even this Bant Control is trying to be aggressive. That's what the Cavalier of Thorns approach is going to do. But I don't know. This one seems tough.
I mean, I think Brickfingers is still very much in this game.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think that they're ahead.
Yeah.
But just because of the look.
You mean it's tough for Silvercoat in this situation?
Absolutely,
yeah.
This is tough. But it's close. This game is wild. This game could go any direction because I don't know Silvercoat's hand. It could go any direction. This is going to be a close one. There's going to be a lot of resources, but this is a game where holy smokes, if you had Planner Cleansing.
Oh yeah.
My God, if you had Planner Cleansing in the sideboard. That game's over, man. Like if you're gonna see your whole deck, there might be an argument that these Bant lists should have a Planner Cleansing in the sideboard, just one even because of these crazy situations.
Crisis for 7.
Yeah, the thing is, this holding onto this Noxious Scraps is gonna let us, deal with this 7/7, or let Brickfingers deal with this 7/7. Start grinding out value, recoup some of this life total, that we've been losing to these crises. But these crises are massive. We're gonna have to deal. What we're looking for is a cat.
Yeah, 3 ovens now.
We just need a cat.
1 cat.
There it is.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, we just need this cat. Once we get this cat, I mean, this is gonna be a lot of damage.
This Elspeth Conquers Death Tax is a real Witch's Oven, costing 3 this turn if he wants to play it out.
Yeah, the second chapter on Elspeth Conquers Death actually comes up quite a bit, I find, in Standard. Mm-hmm. It's quite helpful. We saw it last game, even if psamms did have the Embercleave, ECD would have stopped it. There it is, the recognition of how bad this cat is for you. The full engine online.
Yep.
Yeah, man, a Planner... I can't get over how insane a Planner Cleansing would be on this board. I think it might be the only card, actually, that you can really draw anymore.
Yeah.
Things are getting really out of control.
The second Mayhem Devil.
Yeah. It's tough. But the thing is, a Wrath still buys a ton of time here.
Well, nice little play here. You cast this Noxious Grass for 4 mana, sacking a food in the process, triggering Mayhem Devil twice.
Yeah.
Allows you to get in for 3 with your Mayhem Devil.
Yeah. Now you're ahead. Now you're way ahead on board.
Decent amount of damage on board with your double Witch's Oven and your Cauldron Familiar and the double Mayhem Devil.
It's a lot of damage.
Your opponent's almost dead.
Very close. I think they're
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think you're 2 points short of lethal.
Yeah, just short, and they're going to gain some life here with the Uro. I think they're going to...
You're going to gain 1 life with the Uro.
Yeah, right. My bad.
Yeah.
I forgot, yeah. Oh, man, that's funny. Yeah, Mayhem Devil's so good against the strategy. It's hilarious. But I feel like if the Bant deck has the Time Wipe, they're still live, and this game's going to go on for a while. But I think that the food list will have a tough time getting back in the game here still, despite all this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very close. But that really is Silvercoat's line to getting out of this is they need a board wipe.
Yeah, you got to get these Mayhem Devils off the board. They're just doing way too much work. But then the problem is, I mean, how are you beating this?
So brutal there. The Devils triggering off the ECD, sacrificing, and
I know.
the Uro coming back.
Oh, man. And, on top of that, you still got to stop this Witch's Oven Trail of Comes engine.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, I think it's really tough for this Bant deck to beat that. once it gets going.
All right, Crisis coming in here makes me think there's a time wipe.
I was gonna say this. I mean, it's time wipe or you're dead, right? It's actually lethal without a time wipe. So bringing back Uro won't be it's got to be a time wipe.
Yeah, there it is. All right, so Cat's gonna get sacked. We're gonna deal a bunch of damage with these Mayhem Devils before this time wipe resolves.
Wait, are you still an Uro? You might still be dead to the cat plus the oven, right?
Well, after all these triggers resolve, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the math. It's not my job. I'm here to talk about the match. I'm not to do the math on whether it's lethal or not.
No, wait. They might. Is he dead?
That's what I'm wondering.
It comes back. So 3 down to 7.
Down to 7. Actually, just dead.
Sacked again. Down to 5. You can bring it back. Maintain priority to sack all of your food tokens.
Yeah.
I think he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Wait, why didn't he just kill him on his turn? Did he just realize?
Well, no. What he needed to happen, he was short before, but the Elspeth Conquers Death sacrificing got him that extra point.
Oh my god, that's actually insane. The ECD, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. That sacrificing is what lets him kill him here.
Yeah. There it is. Two more points are going to hit, and then
you bring the cat back, and that's the last 3.
Yeah.
Wow. Finishes with a flourish. Yeah, and there it is.
Yep, you can even maintain priority here to sacrifice your other food before the cat comes back.
Yeah.
For 2 extra points of damage. Yep.
Just to ensure that nothing goes wrong, yeah.
Clean win for Brick Fingers.
Yeah, clean
taking
play.
Down this match.
There we go. The resolve all. I was like, come on now. You're good here. A little bit of BM emotes, which doesn't work against me. I got emotes muted. I don't play that. You ain't told me it's muted. Can't get tilted if you don't have them on.
All right, Silvercoat tapping some mana. Is there?
There's no way.
Something here. Spiral.
We're trying. What? But there's nothing in his deck list, right? There's just nothing in the deck list. Man, it was never a single Mayhem Devil today out of Jun Food that did it. It was always when there was 2 of them. You're like, wait a minute, this is over.
Well, that's why you play 4, right?
Yeah, that's why I put them in my deck, so I could draw them.
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
All right, Brick Fingers takes the win. Moves on to 3-1.
Yeah.
Great start.
Yeah, 2 more rounds until the cut to top 8. Looking good. Looking pretty solid. Yeah, good quality too. Not as good as the screen share from our band player, but that was the best one we had all day. But yeah, no, it's a good matchup. That's a close one. But it just felt like the band deck didn't have a way to answer that engine once the engine got online. It just felt like there was no way out. So I'm wondering if you're worried about the popularity of Jun Food going forward in the future. I think you have to have something that just is because it looked like from the band side, you could get the game to go long enough.
Yeah, so see, this is the problem when you're comparing the green-blue mid-range strategies. Right now we have Sultai, we have Bant. When you're up against a deck like Jun Food, from the Bant side of the table, you don't have ways to cleanly deal with their early engine pieces, right? Their Witch's Oven, their Trail of Crumbs, right?
No, not at all.
And those cards are just going to let them go toe for toe with your card draw and all your value. So your games are going to go super long.
Right.
So but whereas a deck like if you're playing Sultai instead of Bant, you have Casualties of War to be able to clean up all of their cheap engine
and then
pieces.
Just beat them down with an Uro.
Yeah.
The problem is playing an Uro doesn't matter at a Bant when they're just creating tons of value. And so that's what I mean. But you can guarantee the game's going to go long enough, right?
Yeah.
And so I wonder if something like Planner Cleansing just is an essential sideboard card for that matchup. Because you only need 1 or 2, and you just need to draw it once when the game's at this crazy state. And you reset the board. And it feels like if Bant can just reset, they'll be good. But if they can't reset, they have no chance.
I think I'm with you on the Planner Cleansing plan.
I don't know what else you can do as Bant. Yeah. And Bant, I think, is a legitimately tier 1 deck, but I don't know what the solution is.
It's interesting because I think the early builds of the Bant mid-range deck were better set up for the Jun Food matchup because I saw a lot of them playing like Night of Autumn.
Yeah,
a cheaper creature that can deal with these problem artifacts.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've seen lists still. In fact, the list I have right now at home is playing 3. I play 3 Knight of Autumn main. Because it's good against mono red, right? I told you, I'm terrified of Ambercleave, man. What do you want from me, right? It's good against that, but it's also, it's good against food, right? It clears things up. It makes things pretty safe. It's good against opposing ECDs. Yeah, maybe Knight of Autumn is a big solution, right? We should consider, I think instead of Arboreal Grazers, I have Knight of Autumn is how I've been playing the deck at home.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I can find another feature match before this round wraps up.
That round went on for a while. And we've been getting some crazy amount of matches in.
Mm-hmm.
Things probably speed up as people are dropping out of the tournament now. But thanks to everyone for tuning in this organizational tournament. This is a free tournament we host with prizes, sponsored by wizardtower.com.
Yep.
But the Disorganized Wizards Club podcast brought to you, this tournament. This is our 3rd time. We love doing it. It's super fun to cast. It's just a best of 3 standard arena tournament, free entry,
Yeah, absolutely. If you, for some reason, are here and haven't heard of the Disorganized Wizards Club podcast, you can scroll a little just down below our stream. There's a link to our podcast. We do a weekly Magic podcast just basically focused on getting better at Magic. We talk about decks, tournament stories, all that great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so definitely check out the podcast if you haven't.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in and watching. I love casting these. Super fun to watch Standard, especially now when Standard's in a really good spot, I think. We've seen some really good matches, some really interesting decisions, some really cool Magic play today, actually. It's been fun. Standard feels really lively. We even got to cast or curse some people who were undefeated, and then they came on and just did nothing and died when we put them on coverage, Classic. Real classic caster's curse. You love to see it.
Yeah. Let's take a quick look at our round so far. We saw at the beginning of this round, Unverse taking the 2-0 win over psamms. Looks like our other 3-0s are still battling it out.
Yeah, deep into their match timer. Really probably fighting for that undefeated. I believe that's the Bant versus Blue Red. Because Blue Red Flash is one of our undefeated decks. Man, tell me Standard isn't wild. Tell me you won't. Actually, craziness. Been a wild time. So I'm really curious what's going on with that match. I almost want to see if Sterling has
I messaged them already.
Okay.
Yeah.
See if we can get a backup match going. I would love to see Blue Red from their perspective, because previously we didn't have their perspective, and I was really curious. How things were going on their end. I think I don't know. I think it's one of the more surprising decks I've seen in the field, and it's at the top of the field. If you would have told me that at one point, even 3-0, I know it's only 3-0, but if you would have said, Blue Red starting undefeated, I would have been pretty shocked in a field where it feels like a lot of decks can get under them. Food, mono red, the most played deck today here in this tournament.
Yep.
But, yeah. Some Blue Red, just those Scorching Dragonfires out there doing work.
Yeah, I also, speaking of Scorching Dragonfire, I know psamms made an interesting deck building decision in his mono red deck. Looking at his sideboard, 4 Lava Coil, 3 Scorching Dragonfire, 2 Robber the Rich, 4 Unchained Berserker, 2 Chandra Acolyte of Flame, 0 copies of Red Cat Melee, which has been kind of a mainstay in most mono red sideboards.
Yeah, I've seen people move away from this recently, though, actually. Mostly because it's just a utility in other matchup issues, is that Red Cat Melee just can't come in other matchups, whereas Lava Coil, Scorching Dragonfire, they can do a lot of work in other matchups.
Yeah.
And so I've noticed people sort of moving away from that. But yeah, absolutely. Man, somebody in chat said junk food is disgusting. No kidding. Doesn't look very appetizing. But man, is it powerful.
Yeah.
It's like durian fruit.
It doesn't look like I can find another backup feature match.
That's okay. I think we're pretty close to the end of the round here, right? It's only a couple. Yeah, and they're approaching their final time. So, I mean, we can just take a break and grab a snack, let people take a food, drink, bathroom break,
Yep.
Play a little Star Wars remix trap beats on the load screen here while we're just figuring out the next round. Grab a snack, take a break, and we'll be back for round 4?
Round 5.
Oh, round 5, man. We're flying through this thing.
We're coming in. Our top 8's going to be shaping up pretty nicely soon. So we're going to hop over to a break. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back very soon for round 5 of the DWC Organizational.